Advance provides us a network, really a talent opportunity for everyone to connect. So we connect members around the world, be them CEOs and chairs of Fortune 500 companies, to young entrepreneurs, to artists and scientists.
Our great challenge is to know who they all are. At this point in time, we probably know 5%?
5%. I mean, in addition to the Australians, obviously, the 2 million alumni that Ken mentioned. These are alumni of Australian universities who, I don't know what it is about Australia, but when you go back to your home country, you take a bit of Australia with you. And it's amazing the amount of those who want to do something for Australia. They become linked to it. Well, it's an incredible talent, especially from Asia.
Increasingly, your son, your daughter is going to be working overseas. We've got to help them to perform better, to be happier, to come back to Australia. So at a very human level, Advance is important to our society.
Yeah, I spent 10 years of my working life living overseas, a couple of years in Tokyo and then a long stint in London. And what I learned, it doesn't matter which company in the world, where you are in the world, you'll find an Australian, whether it's a big corporation, a non-for-profit, and they're willing to help. They're both their country and they're willing to help each other, and that's what Advance is about, linking that network together for the benefit of the individuals, but most importantly the benefit of our country.
It's like plugging into a global power grid for innovation and ideas. I mean, that's effectively what it is, this huge diaspora out there, and you can bring it all in for the benefit of the country as a whole.
There's a rule in science that's been demonstrated, it's called Metcalfe's law, and that really talks about the value of being part of a network is the square of the value or the cost of actually joining that network. So for each additional person that joins a network, the value to the entire network of having that one additional person join is not just +1, it's 1 squared, which is an incredible notion when you think about it. So this network of Australians, global Australians, around the world is an incredibly powerful network.
These individuals who are successful all over the world and the future successful leaders that are part of our network, they have a desire to give back. They have a desire to grow the economy, to help Australia's place in the world. And so we are actually connecting them all back home and with each other so we can help build a more prosperous, globally connected, bolder Australia.
Well, you just imagine a large Australian company, a medium-sized Australian company, wanting to sell in Indonesia. Selling something in Indonesia is not selling it like it is in Mossman or Point Piper. You really do have to understand what the markets over there is all about.
Plus, you also, I just came back 2 days ago from Shanghai, and talking to people there, I'm convinced that in fact that China is probably the leader today in the world in innovative, disruptive business models. You can name any names that you want to see, it is really happening. And so, but when you go overseas, you just see that experience, and it's such a rapidly changing world with all the new technologies in particular. But you just experience, especially different cultures. It's how do I be successful in other cultures? How do I incorporate some of their skills and bring it back? It's just adding to that knowledge that you have is tremendously important, because Australia in the end has to rely, it's only 23 million people, it's got to rely on its smarts. And you look north of here, there are in China, there are 300 million middle class, in India pretty well the same. These are the services potential for this country is huge. Well, you've got to have people that understand how to do that, what to bring, very important, and then share it with others.
We do a number of events around the world. I just want to highlight one particular program that we run, and it's all about helping Australian startups go global from Australia. So we formed a strategic alliance with KPMG, and it's under a partnership banner called Elevate 61, where we choose the very top enterprise startups in this country. We take them into the Valley, New York and LA, and we educate them on having a global product in a global market and help them scale fast.
The reason that we got involved is we're absolutely passionate about helping startup businesses get better connected to corporates and connect with customers, and that's one of the key drivers for us as a firm in trying to help facilitate that interconnectivity. It was pretty clear to us that this was a unique organisation, both in terms of its connection into the Australian diaspora, but also in terms of the potential that it had to offer to Australia that was being untapped. And for us as a firm to be a part of helping drive that connectivity between Australian alumni and Australian corporates was something wonderful to be involved in.
When we moved to London, we didn't register initially with the embassy or whether it was through a network of friends. And in business, you know, you'd find that you were trying to make a contact with a particular organisation, you couldn't, and you'd find an Australian, and the Australian say, hey, happy to help, happy to connect, and away you go. So lots of benefit, but that's at an individual level. The most significant thing, though, in my opinion, is the value of the network back to our country.
And what Advance offers its members and those people who partner with Advance is an opportunity to be able to participate and to train or be trained how to navigate these opportunities. And so when you expose this knowledge, track record, and the personal connections of those people who are part of the broader Advance network, you then share that with those people who have these aspirations, who want to be able to take advantage of these emerging opportunities. So it's an essential element. I know myself that one startup which I was responsible for, which we're building right now, had its birth in an Advance event in Palo Alto. So had it not been for a realisation that took place with me on that day, it never would have been created.
And it's not just about the events that we create, because around those events and those programs are incredible successful Australians and alumni who are in those countries, be it Silicon Valley, be it Shanghai, be it Singapore, Jakarta or London. They are mentoring and advising and are key speakers. So they are sharing their knowledge. This is all about a global goodwill network for Australia.
Can you imagine a world when we're competing in a global system? If we can have access to a great human resource like that, it's an opportunity to understand the world, understand ourselves, and be all the better for that.